Hey there, good morning. Let's do it. It has been at 10 on this Tuesday, August the 5th, and kind of a nice morning out there. It's not crazy humid. We do have a couple of showers popping up on the radar, and that'll be kind of the trend again later on today. Can't rule out maybe a pop-up shower or thunderstorm, but really typical August weather on the way for the rest of this week. We're talking 80s, low 90s later into the weekend, into next week. The humidity isn't out of control. Just kind of weather we can deal with here. And we've got a weird, crazy shirt day. I think it was maybe Debbie saying a nice shirt. And I was like, well, wait for tomorrow's shirt. So this is, if you're wondering, this was a Goodwill find, and they don't make this product anymore. There might be a reason for that. Feel free to caption the shirt in the comments. But we're ready to go with a Wild Shirt Tuesday here this morning. But we'll get to your comments here in just a second. Let's take a live look outside, as it is a good looking start to the day as we look here at some dry roadways. I had just a little bit of rain in my yard this morning at around 6 o'clock or so. So that was some early morning rain, and then that went through Scott County. I had some decent showers for a little while this morning as well. But look, kind of a mixed sky. We've got a little bit of cumulus clouds with some sunshine out there. And as we bring up our weather headlines for your August the 5th, isolated pop-up shower or storm today, typical August warmth. And then we're going to be heading into a mostly dry weekend as well. So again, not super exciting if you're one of those weather enthusiasts, weather nuts that wants crazy weather all the time. This might not be the week for you, but if you want plenty of time to get some work done outdoors, we're in pretty good shape. The biggest downpour this morning is just west of French Lick. You can see that there, right south of 150 west of French Lick, as we look at the live sweep here. And it's been showing maybe a couple of clouds trying to get big enough to put down a couple sprinkles here. And there you can see pretty quiet weather, though. So we might be seeing a raindrop or two there between Sellersburg and Charlestown. And then maybe a little tiny sprinkle there in Floyd County as well. But you can see over most of the area we are dry. Most of the rain's been off to the northeast so far this morning. And let me get back to look at some comments here in just 1 second. So there's the current conditions out there. And just make sure everything is rocking and rolling here on this Tuesday. Hope you guys are having a good start to your morning. All right, looks like we're rolling just fine. And cheers with Big Happy this morning. The first cup, around 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning, cream and sugar. We're going straight raw coffee with that one right there. All right, we're getting going. Thanks for watching. By the way, if it's on extolmag.com/weather online, we get the live stream up there. And then we also have our live stream on YouTube, Extol Media. You'll find us there, Extol Weather on Facebook, or my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine. So wherever you're finding us in the digital world, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. We've got Beverly Haggis with a good morning there from Borden, Indiana. Record holder for the first one to pop in the comments every single morning. So thank you very much there, Beverly. We've got Laura Young, my mom. You are very colorful this morning. We like it. I hope your day is as vibrant and colorful as this weird shirt right here. Ron Washburn, nice shirt. Thank you very much. I sense sarcasm in that right there, sir. Dennis Gregory, good morning from Bedford. Thanks for tuning in there. Thanks for popping in. When you pop in the comments, thanks for also including where you are commenting from and joining the conversation this morning. This is your show for Southern Indiana and beyond as well. Of course, we're going to talk a lot about weather. We got you covered with the forecast, but we may talk about some other things as well. A lot of times we'll dip into nature or whatever might be happening across the area. Good morning from Litchfield, Kentucky. Jeanette Pierce. Have a great day. Cheers with the big coffee. Mine is Roosters. All right, nice. Thank you very much for tuning in here this morning, Jeanette. And as we look at the big page here, extolmag.com/weather, there's our live stream. It's up right now. And then here's the interactive radar, the current conditions, which shows 73 degrees. We have had some nice weather here in August. It's been a treat. I knew it. I sensed it. Ron Washburn says I am right. Nice big fish in your profile picture there as well. I remember when you caught that. All right, here we go. We're cruising down our page here. You got your weather story, you got your forecast maps, which show no risk of severe weather for our area, no watches or warnings. Again, pretty quiet conditions. You can always click your Indiana weather and traffic page. This will link you up to 511in.org, and it'll show you any trouble spots on the roads, which things are looking pretty good here. There's a look at 265 and Charlestown Road. With, again, mostly dry conditions across the area this morning. We've got Orlean Whitlow in here with a good morning. Love the shirt from Hodgenville. Thank you so much for saying you love the shirt, but you're also allowed to make fun of the shirt. Again, I don't know when they stopped making this brand. It's like Island something, but they don't make it anymore. But what a good find at Goodwill. All right, here we go. Back to the maps here. And as we bring up extolmag.com/weather, here is the big interactive radar. It is also showing a couple of these little tiny showers there between Sellersburg and Charlestown, and then one near the Knobs too. And then we bring up the temperatures. We're looking at 70s throughout the area. Remember July, skyrocketing temperatures. We had these temperatures around this time of the day already around 85, 90 degrees. So really not too shabby out there. And then the interactive radar also showing that heavier downpour just to the west of French Lick. And then, of course, you can hit the play button if you would like to check out the movement of any of that rainfall here. You can be your own meteorologist. Looks like stuff is moving very slowly off to the northeast so far this morning. So there, again, there's all your tools there at extolmag.com/weather. Let me reload this page right here, as I always like to take a look as well at some of the live cameras out there. So let me let that load up there for a second. Give a shout out to our partners here. We can only do this because of them. So I am here with your weather forecast because of these folks, and then we're only here because of you. We've got this partnership, and we're making it work here. So thanks to Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com. You can get your free roof estimates, learn a whole lot more about their company, a family-owned company right out of Memphis, Indiana. You can call them 812-294-3595. They got you covered in Kentucky too, both sides of the river. So give them a shout. Protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. They worked DJ Zip, who works over there at Lions Roofing, working in partnership with the folks at American Family Insurance to ensure my mom had her roof repaired because of a tree that fell through it in those March storms. More trees. It was a rough time for my mom's backyard this year. She had a lot of trees down. Either way, if you want a quote, you can get your car covered, home covered. We have a side-by-side, a cabin that we've got covered. So whatever your variety of needs might be, I recommend Michael Long here for your insurance needs with American Family Insurance. American Star Certified Agency, excellence in customer service. Tell him I sent you, 812-578-3072. Or you just go to amfam.com and you'll find Michael Long right there. More job opportunities. I want to remind you that if you go to lionsroofingco.com and then click on careers, there is a job opening here as well. It is a roofing repair technician. So just want to give a reminder there. There are also job openings here at libspaving.com, L-I-B as in Ben, S paving.com. So if you have somebody in your family that needs an opportunity Well, here you go. There are a bunch of job openings. Click on Learn More, and then you can apply there online. And you can also level up your career by enrolling in Ivy Tech. So you can go to locations here at ivytech.edu, go to Sellersburg, and I believe we're going to be live on campus this Thursday. Always fun to hop around different places in Southern Indiana and do our live show, Ben at 10. So this is Tuesdays at the Tech. It is Tuesday. So you can always register whenever you want here online to get that one-on-one support. They're going to hook you up with how to get started at Ivy Tech, the FAFSA documentation. It can seem a little confusing, but they'll clear up any of your questions and make it streamlined and easy for you. Figure out tuition and aid and registering for classes, career development, all that good stuff. And you can see right there where you can RSVP and register there for your Tuesdays at the Tech. So very cool stuff. And we're looking here at another comment coming in from Lillian Lasley. Good morning. Love the shirts. Thank you very much, Lillian. We are going to get to that forecast now. And I've got this one last thing to show you here. Ooh, not that. I'm not sure. I might freak some of you out here in just a second. We'll get to that here in just a moment. And I think the internet might be just a tad bit spotty this morning. Trying to bring this up for you. There we go. If you ever want to get in contact with us, you can do that at, it's jumping around. I'm going to get back to that. Let's see. All right. There we go. Ben at extolmag.com. If you ever want a marketing or advertising solution for your business, your organization, if you know somebody that does, feel free to reach out. If you have a weather question, Ben at extolmag.com. Easy to get a hold of me or Jason at extolmag.com. There you go. That's how you link up with us. And check this out. So I did share this yesterday. This is a giant, not a wolf spider. I believe this is the Indiana fishing spider. And you can Google it because I've seen it one time in my backyard. And they do look like a huge tarantula. And what was extra creepy about this picture, this is on Indiana Wildlife Group. If you're not a member of it, it's a very interesting group. There, if you look below on the left side, those are all the hundreds of little spider babies that Mama has there, and Mama is protecting. But I don't think they're poisonous or anything like that. But they are huge and can actually, I believe, catch little fish. So it's the biggest spider in the region. It's the biggest spider in Indiana. And there you can see that was out of Clark County, Indiana, by the way. So everybody on the comments, like, I would be burning down that barn if that was at my house. We've got Mike Gibson Weldon. Absolutely nothing wrong with your shirt. Love it. Let your free flag fly. Thank you very much. Cheers to you. There we go. All right. So, all right. Now that I've scared you with the big spider in Clark County, we'll move on to the forecast here. Again, we went over the weather headlines. Isolated pop-up shower today. Typical August warmth, 80s, low 90s for the rest of this week, and then a mostly dry weekend. There's just no real storm systems to give us any widespread rainfall. So this is kind of your ag report right now. I messaged my big farmer friend Terry Vissing, one of the biggest farmers in the land. He does a lot of farming in Clark County, and he said the growing season's been really good. If you've ever taken a drive out in the countryside, I mean, the corn soaring, the soybeans are doing good. And so this is drought.gov, NIDIS, the National Integrated Drought Information System. So this is the 1 meter soil depth in the percentile of moisture, and blue is good. And you can see blue all through the southern half of Indiana and through much of Kentucky and into Tennessee. So we have had a wealth of water this year, and so that has been very good. It's been much drier over the northern half of Indiana, northwestern Ohio. There you can see a lack of soil in that 1 meter of soil, and then dry weather farther out west of Missouri into the Great Plains. So while it has been a nuisance with all of the rain this year, it's been kind of a blessing for the farms and the fields out there. Now, he did say they are starting to get to that point where they're going to need a little more widespread rain for the fields instead of this just isolated stuff that we've been having. I don't see a big chance of that anytime soon. Here's a look at that play ball forecast. 30% chance of that shower or storm for today. 80 at noon, 84 for the afternoon high. And so that's about 5 degrees below normal for this time of the year. And then 79 degrees there at 8 p.m. The wind is almost non-existent today. As we bring this up, here's a live look outside with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera looking towards Louisville. And what is that? The K&I Bridge there, the railroad bridge. Panning off to the east. No, I should say back towards the west. But a mixed sky out there with some clouds, and there's been just a couple little isolated showers around the area. Okay, back to the forecast. Again, there's your play ball forecast. My son's back to tennis. It is tennis season after a bunch of summer golf. So excited for that. First day back to school for my son Brady today. My daughter still gets to sleep in. She heads to IU later this month. UV index, the EPA says 9. I'm not sure if we'll get quite to 9 with the UV index, especially if you have some cloud cover. But if you do get under that direct sunshine, you can still get that sunburn for today. We've got Laura DeVore checking in the comments. Thanks for tuning in here this morning. Some spotty showers again in that forecast summary for today for your August 5th. Our sunset at 8:48. And just, again, a very light and variable wind, partly to mostly cloudy out there for today. And tonight's forecast, 69, upper 60s, probably around low 70s in the urban areas in the city. Can't rule out maybe an isolated shower into the evening time, but mostly dry conditions and just a calm night, sunrise at 6:50. And that forecast for your Wednesday, August the 6th, tomorrow, a lot like today, isolated pop-up shower or storm. Pretty moderate temperatures, seasonably warm, and the humidity is not out of control. 86 for the afternoon high tomorrow, and our sunrise at 6:50. Our sunset at 8:47. In the 7-day forecast, again, pretty tame, pretty quiet, pretty typical for this time of the year. 88 for Thursday, with again a very slight chance of a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. And not much to kick things up. So going mostly dry here as well, with a little bit hotter conditions on the way. We're up hovering near 90 for this weekend, but not extreme heat for this time of the year. And then lower 90s Monday, Tuesday. I'm not really seeing much in the way of, I'm not going to call it really relief, because this isn't like a heat wave where we need the relief. I just don't see any like back to below normal conditions maybe over the next couple of weeks. And as we see that when we go to the weather models here, which we typically do at around 10:20 when we dig into that weather model data, I think you're going to see that as we look at the long run, the Ben on a Limb segment, I can tease you with that one as well here in just a second. Not much below normal weather. The Climate Prediction Center calling for above normal conditions. And again, I'll just share this with you real quick. And we'll go on the Ben on a Limb here, probably around 10 minutes or so. So stick around for that. So there's the forecast. We had a late arrival from Erica. Thank you for tuning in there from Charlestown. No matter when you join on the program. Again, this is your show. You can hop on whenever you want. Maybe it's this afternoon or tonight. Thanks for watching that replay if you're watching a little bit later on today. Laura saying, oh, back to below normal was so nice. Yeah, we're heading back to typical August weather for a while. And Jackie, good morning. I missed you walking into work. It is posted with the wild shirt here if you want to go back and check it out. All right. Either way, thanks for joining the channel here this morning, Jackie. And again, there's another live look. So you can see already this morning, we've got a few cumulus clouds that are growing big enough to produce a little shower here and there. As we bring up the radar view, we had a little shower between Sellersburg and Charlestown, kind of falling apart right there. And then just west of you, French Lick, you've got a shower in your area. And let me go ahead and go out of the full screen view. And this is just a look at that little bit of activity that we had with a few of those clouds growing big enough again to produce just a little bit of precipitation, but not too much. And Jackie's saying, now I see your shirt. I like it. A little loud. Have the best day. It is a little bit loud. We need, the weather's quiet. It's the dog days of summer, the doldrums of summer weather. So why not spice it up a little bit here? All right. Back to the forecast graphics we go. Let's go ahead and look at the future radar here at 10:21. And if you're a regular Ben at 10 viewer, we typically start with the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh weather model. We'll compare and contrast a little bit. You're getting into the weather nerd segment of our program. And then we'll get back to the forecast once again here in just a second. So this is showing a little bit of activity across the area. There's not much out there, though. I'm going to jump this ahead to around 2 o'clock today. And it shows that little isolated shower chance. So I've got it at about a 30% chance of that. This is at 3 p.m. today. And these are very random. There's really just no rhyme or reason where a shower might pop up in this kind of typical summer pattern that we're in here. There's no like storm system that they just pop up when you get warm enough. Got enough humidity, you got enough warmth, a couple of these clouds get big enough to produce a couple of these localized showers or storms. No severe weather with it. Can put down some brief heavy rainfall and maybe a little bit of lightning and thunder as well. This is at 5 p.m. And if you don't get it for several days, you're like, what are you talking about? There's no rain out there. Well, if you're looking at a 20 or 30% chance of rain, that means most of you will miss it. So a lot of this time of the year, it's haves and have-nots as far as that rain chance across the region. So that is, again, the weather model there. Here, we'll go to 6 p.m. And no change, really, to the nature of our weather pattern here with the chance of a few of these pop-up showers and thunderstorms across the area. I'm kind of looking forward to the day. I love summertime. I want summer to continue. That we can, I don't have to say pop-up anymore. I can find, once we get to fall, we usually have these fronts that move through and give like the entire area some rain for a portion of the day, and it's not pop-up like we're saying all the time in the summertime. So who is looking forward to fall? It's September 22nd, I believe, is the autumnal equinox when fall officially begins. So you're looking at what, like, I don't know, 48 days or something. That's my guess. How many? I'm going to Google. I'm going to use the Google. How many days until fall? 49 days. I was pretty close. 49 days until autumn begins. So who wants summer to roll on, and who wants fall to begin? I know my wife's answer. The autumn is her favorite season. So after sunset, most of the activity fades away. That's her weather model for today. Let's go to the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. And we got the reflectivity pulled up here. And while it loads, again, that is the question of the day. Do you want summer to continue, or do you want it to wrap up? Let's go to 2 o'clock. Talk amongst yourselves while this loads up. It seems like the internet's just been a little bit slower than normal here for today. As I push the weather model forward in time, again, waiting for this to load up. I do believe it'll show a very similar view. Yes, there we go. I'll bring that up full screen here. So this is the NAM 3-kilometer. We just looked at the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh weather model that showed a couple of these little isolated pop-ups, very similar to the NAM 3-kilometer, a couple of high resolution weather models. And Erica, with fall is my favorite season. And my stepmom, Diana Peine, wants summer to continue. I do too. I still haven't had a lot of time to enjoy like the lake and stuff like that. So, or fishing. I don't think I've even fished this year, which is insane. Got to find the time to do that. All right, let's go ahead and back this up here. So there you can see occasional pop-up shower or storm for this afternoon, but a lot of dry time as well if you want to get out into the yard and get busy out there. I also, now that the back is feeling better, I need to get out and start jogging and lifting. I've maybe put on a couple, if you know what I'm saying, from not being able to do a whole lot. Jeanette, love the summer. We've got summer winning so far, 2-1, with spring coming in with 2-1. So I would go summer number 1 still, fall number 2, spring number 3, winter number 4. Fall used to be a 3rd place, but I do like getting out into the woods and cutting wood and starting the fires and the lower humidity. As I get older, fall is starting to creep up in the seasons race. We're talking seasons this morning. Okay. All right, so there is, we just checked out all the weather model data there. This is interesting. It's not quite going full screen. Let me see. There it goes, full screen. All right, so let's bring up the Climate Prediction Center. So, okay, yeah, since we're going to do that, we've got to start going into the Ben on a limb. Which means we're going to look at the long range forecast here at 10:27. So the Climate Prediction Center has put this out here today for 6 to 10 day outlook. So this starts to put you past the 7-day forecast. And this is what I was seeing with the long range GFS and the European weather model, is that we're going to get back hovering around 90 degrees, maybe low 90s. So this puts us a little bit above normal in the long range outlook, which just means August is kind of being August, not as extreme as July. I'm not really seeing any fronts from Canada that can really help things out as far as bringing in below normal temperatures through the next couple of weeks. So that is your long range outlook. We're just, we're in summertime. I know school goes back so soon nowadays. It seems like summer's coming to an end, but we're not even close. We still got September to get through with summertime as well. And usually this doesn't give us a whole lot, but this is the 8 to 14 day outlook. So a little bit farther past the 10-day outlook. You're basically 2 weeks out, and it shows overall our region under above normal. So what this communicates is that we have above normal chances of above normal temperatures. So anything in orange or red indicates a warmer weather pattern than normal. So perhaps that's what we'll have for most of the rest of August. So using the AC quite a bit, no doubt about that. And we've got Steve Gibbons in here with, I'd rather mow grass than shovel snow any day here in Kentucky. Hilton Head Island, South Carolina is nice in April and October, and you are 100% correct about all of that. I agree with your opinions here. And Mike Moore, Marco Moore, hold on to summer. Yeah, we are holding on to summer, especially with this long-range outlook. Good to see you there in the comments, sir. Thanks for tuning in here. And Laura saying mosquitoes are terrible this year. And I would add on bugs in general are terrible this year. I got a buddy, Chase Best, who is a golf course superintendent. So he not only deals with, growing grass as his job, but also dealing with, other pests and bugs. And he says every time he has to get the pesticides out, he blames me. So, and it's a reminder too. I haven't done the summer weed and feed in the yard. I've got weeds that have taken over the grass, and it's not really a lawn. It's more of a yard, is almost a field is what I would call my yard right now. So there's the long range outlook with the Climate Prediction Center. If you're a storm chaser kind of person and you want to know where the risk of severe weather is, I like to just check that out every day as well. And no risk of severe weather here. It is up in South and North Dakota, where it typically heads closer to the Canada border this time of the year. That's the day one outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. And then our day two severe weather outlook is minimal up to the northwest of us. Day three, probably nothing, really no risk of severe weather. Level one, way up to the northwest. Quiet summertime pattern. Again, this is when you get what they call the doldrums, or the dog days of summer, where it's just kind of a repeatable weather pattern across the region. Future, let me switch this to the GFS weather model. And then real quickly, it has changed its tune. If you remember yesterday and the day before, we were looking like a week and a half from now, next Wednesday, at the potential of a little bit of below normal humidity, below normal temperatures back into the forecast. Well, I'll jump ahead to next Wednesday. That's going to be the 13th. And it has joined the European weather model, calling for basically no relief from the heat and humidity. And it is showing this as well. We'll see if this actually happens. This is day two. So that would probably be a hurricane. That's interesting. Let's talk tropics here for a second as well. Great weather there in Cloverport, there along the river. Judy Tyndall, thanks for tuning in this morning. So let's back up. Let's see what kind of crazy stuff the GFS is doing here in the tropics. So let's go a day back. So that's the 13th. Let's see, the 12th would be next Tuesday. And so it's got something trying to brew here out towards north of Puerto Rico next Tuesday. Again, we will see if but this is a reminder this time of the year, if you do have vacation plans, we are ramping up to what is typically the peak of hurricane season, which is mid-September. So if I go to the 11th on Monday, and again, this is GFS weather model. See if this moves here. There's a lot of data that is chugging on here. I'm just kind of waiting to see if we can get an update. There's the 11th. Come on. That is the 11th. Let's go to the 10th. Again, just bear with me. Let's go to the 9th, which is Saturday. Okay, so there it's picking up a wave right there in the central Atlantic this weekend. And then, so we get these waves coming off the coast of Africa, and then they can develop into tropical systems. If I go to the 8th, which is Friday, a few days from now, all right, so there's that wave as well out here. So that might be interesting to kind of follow here. And there is a tropical system out there now. As I bring up, oops, I am drawing all over the place. Let's get back to the United States. and bring up the active systems that we have. There's a system out there in the Pacific, and then the one in the Atlantic that is not going to bother anybody is right there. That is Tropical Storm Dexter. If you were curious about that one. So that is Tropical Storm Dexter, not all that strong, winds at around 40 miles per hour, moving northeast. And that is well off the coast, the east coast of the United States. So not really bothering anybody there. All right, so I'll bring this up too. Again, if you're curious about tropical weather, let me bring up the World Wide Web as we're taking a tropical detour here. There's our live look outside. And let me bring up the National Hurricane Center. So what they're looking at here is what I was just showing you, this potential development, that wave coming off the African coast. The GFS weather model blows that thing up mid next week into potential hurricane. Big question marks on if that'll happen, but it'll be something interesting to watch. There's a little disturbance off the southeastern coast, a 40% chance of cyclone formation. Cyclone means storm. And then this has a 50% chance of cyclone storm formation over the next 7 days. We've got a tropical wave over far eastern, the tropical Atlantic, currently producing disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity, primarily to the southwest of the wave axis. Environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for gradual development during the next few days. A tropical depression could form late this week or over the weekend as the system moves generally west-northwest across the central tropical or subtropical Atlantic. So that'll be something interesting to watch. But as you can see, it is hurricane season ramping up. We've got Laura saying, going to the mountains in September, and I would normally say no danger of hurricane there, but last year showed us different. Yeah, that was crazy with the flooding in the Appalachians. I mean, we've had impacts here from hurricanes as well. Was that Ike back in 2008 that caused all those power outages? That was during the Ryder Cup at Valhalla, like that week before. Crazy windstorm there. All right, it is 10:38 now, and let's get back to the forecast since we've been rambling on here. I showed this earlier. I'll show you this. So I recently joined Indiana Wildlife Group. So now I get all these fun Indiana wildlife pictures showing up. This is from Clark County, Indiana. A lot of people don't know that a spider can grow this big in Indiana, and it's a fishing spider. They're like as big as a tarantula, bigger than a wolf spider, and I've seen one in my backyard before, and they actually, I believe, can catch fish. But the mama spider here had a huge nest in the barn in Clark County. That is where the nest is, right there. So a lot of people are saying, burn that thing down. But I think they are harmless. And Laura's saying, no. Isolated pop-up shower today for your August 5th. Typical August warmth, mostly dry weekend. And this is a look at the soil moisture. So we're doing good. We're staying out of droughts. Blue is the percentile of moisture, the high percentile of moisture for a 1 meter depth in the soil. It's been drier over northern Indiana, northern Ohio. And so we have had a really great growing season. And to back me up on that, Terry Vissing, he's a local farmer that says it's been a great growing season. With that said, we've had very isolated in nature rain chances. So we could start to use a more widespread chance of rain, but it's still looking pretty isolated over the long-term forecast. Lily Lasley says, have an awesome day, and no to that spider. 30% chance of that rain today, 84 for your afternoon high, 5 degrees below normal for this time of the year, and just a very light and variable breeze out there. It is tennis season now for my son. I don't know, football practice is ramping up, all that good stuff. Football's not far off, you guys. UV index 9, very high level. So getting a little more sunshine than the last couple of days. And Laura saying, I hate spiders worse than snakes, however irrational that is. I don't like them either. I like snakes better than spiders. I don't mind catching a snake if they slither by. Your forecast summary today, 84, mostly cloudy, light and variable breeze, sunset at 8:48. And tonight, upper 60s, low 70s in the city. Shower possible, but mostly dry. Calm wind. Tomorrow's forecast, a lot like today, maybe a degree or two warmer, a high of 86. Sun up at 6:50 or sunset at 8:47. And only going about a 20% chance of that shower or storm popping up for tomorrow. So a lot of dry time here over the 7-day forecast, with, again, just August being August as we start to climb into the upper 80s to around 90 degrees this weekend and into next week. The rain chance so small, I've basically just taken it out for Friday and Saturday. It will be great for the pool or the lake or the river. If you can get outside by a body of water, yeah, it's going to be a great weekend for that as the summer continues. We're just kind of in midsummer, even though it's back to school. So we've got plenty of summertime to go. I think it's 49 days until fall officially begins. And that was our question of the day. Do you want summer to continue, or are you ready for the fall season? So again, it is looking lovely out there. As I remove that and bring this back up, we're going to look at the current conditions, and then we'll wrap up our Ben at 10 here. So we've been talking for 42 minutes. Some folks out there taking a stroll along the fossil beds. They're at the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. Some pretty healthy cumulus clouds starting to bubble up. And a few of those may produce a rain shower today. And let's see if we've got anything popping up on our interactive radar, which you can always find here at extolmag.com/weather. And we've got our live stream up here at extolmag.com/weather. There you can see me right there. And then we've got interactive radars, current conditions, 3-day forecast, 7-day forecast, the weather story, the severe weather outlooks, NDOT traffic and cameras, river, lake levels, drought status, which we are not in any drought, regional radar, any watches or warnings. So the radar is showing a little tiny pop-up shower here near the Snyder right there in Middletown. Maybe a sprinkle out of that guy. And then picking up barely a little sprinkle here in Shepherdsville. And again, you can do this live with me. This is just me scrolling around on the free interactive radar here. And this shower has been pretty stationary and kind of fallen apart, not as big as it was, just to the west of French Lick, Indiana, and maybe a sprinkle there around Orangeville. And that's about it. Most of the activity north of Cincinnati right now. Not a whole lot around the region. Clicking on the temperatures, we are at 81 downtown Louisville, 75 Sellersburg, 79, 78 up in the Knobs. So we're in the mid to upper 70s and heading into the low mid 80s for this afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy sky. So there are the great resources for you there at extolmag.com/weather. We've also got you linked up there on our weather page to lionsroofingco.com. They've got a roofing repair technician job opening. 812-294-3595 is the number to call if you want to know about that job opening or get a free estimate on your home's roof. If you see some shingles messed up, or maybe you never know if you had that hailstorm come through in the springtime, maybe did some damage. you can give them a call, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. Again, that's 812-294-3595. They're based out of Memphis, Indiana, family-owned company, but they can do work on the Kentucky side of the river as well. And they'll work with your insurance company to make sure things are covered. American Family Insurance. I know that from personal experience here. I want to recommend to you Michael Long for your insurance needs. Grab a quote from him, 812-578-3072. And please tell him I sent you. Ben sent you to Michael Long here at amfam.com. You can go to amfam.com and then just put in Michael Long, and you're going to find his page, American Star Certified Agency Excellence in Customer Service. And again, these are our partners. This is the reason we can be here, and 100% the reason we're here is because you are here. So thank you so much for your support and joining us on Ben at 10 and supporting our content on all of our Extol media channels and all over the place. libspaving.com. LIB, B as in Ben, spaving.com is where you'll find everything about their company, the largest paving contractor around. You can follow them on Facebook too. They always show what they've been doing with their jobs. They've got a really good social media presence, but also all the job openings here that you can see. Superintendent, project manager. You click on learn more, and then there you go. Got you hooked up where you can apply for this job right there online. You can also apply to get registered at ivytech.edu. It is Tuesdays at the Tech where you can get started at Ivy Tech, registering for classes, learn about how to apply for FAFSA and get tuition and financial aid, learn about the partnerships and organizations. Dual credit courses are so important for high schoolers. So anytime you want, you can RSVP for Tuesdays at the Tech and schedule a visit one-on-one there at the campus and learn about all dozens and dozens of programs that they have there. You can get a lot of 2-year certification programs to get you plugged into the workforce, and they are powering the workforce in Southern Indiana. And we, I believe, are going to be going live out there Thursday morning in Sellersburg at the Sellersburg campus. And so thank you very much for their support and your support, by the way. And we've got a good morning from Alice Young, wrapping up with some of the comments here. Thanks for bearing with the loud and vibrant shirt. Feel free to not say you like the shirt. Feel free to caption it and make fun of this shirt. It was a Goodwill purchase. It's a brand that's not even made anymore, but hey, it's tropical out there. Well, it's getting a little more tropical. It's a kind of a boring weather pattern, so we had to break out this the ugly shirt here. My wife, Sarah, actually, I came in the kitchen, her eyes about that big, and she's like, "You're not wearing that, right?" I go, "Yeah, I'm wearing that." And the reason I wanted to wear it is because I believe it was Debbie that popped in the comments yesterday and said, "Nice shirt." I said, "Wait for tomorrow," because I was like, "I'm going to break this shirt out." And then my wife said, "You don't have any meetings today, do you?" I said, "No, I don't have any meetings, but I just have a meeting with all of you here at Ben at 10. Speaking of which, Laura, love Ben at 10, best local weatherman. Thank you so much for your support, Laura. We might wrap it up with that comment right there. So we found some things to talk about for 50 minutes this morning. So tomorrow morning, we'll talk a little bit about, some shower and thunderstorm chances. Not a big deal with that. Typical heat and humidity. Interesting to watch the tropics this time of the year. So we'll update and see if the GFS continues to have that system move towards the United States. And we'll, of course, look at your long-range forecast, which we do every morning on our Ben on a Limb segment. Like to have a good time here on the show. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And join me tomorrow morning right here on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Peine. Thanks for the like or the follow. And then follow us also on YouTube. We're getting those numbers up there. If you do follow us there on YouTube, you're going to get, you'll just start to see us pop up on your new YouTube stream, which can be very important, by the way, when we get into severe weather season, because I might be on for hours and hours tracking severe weather. So right there, if you go to extolmag.com/weather, you can click on the subscribe to our YouTube channel, or you can just put in Extol Media into YouTube, and then you'll see my videos. Not only the Ben at 10, but again, maybe we're covering severe weather, or maybe it's just my daily walking into work weather, 1 minute short can pop into your YouTube. And really high def, you can bring it up full screen there at home. And again, Extol Weather on Facebook at Extol Media is where you can find us. And Lillian says, love that. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in here this morning on this August 5th. We'll see you tomorrow morning on Wednesday, Hump Day, August the 6th. Have a good one. Thanks for watching the replay if you're tuning in a little bit later in the day. We'll see you later.